Help us, an extreme generation. Help us, an extreme generation. Thank you. This is our year of faith, finance, family, and fitness. And so every Sunday we'll be teaching on one of those topics, whether it be me. I'll give these guys and gals a hand. So every Sunday, we'll be teaching on one of these, whether it be myself, one of the teaching pastors, but we'll cover faith, finance, family, and fitness every single month. So you've heard, so far this month, you've heard myself, Pastor Twan, you've heard Minister Audrey talking about fitness, you've heard Pastor Ty, you've heard a lot of word this month, and we're going to keep increasing that. This is family. Say family. Family is one of the most underrated, I believe, and overlooked institutions in the world. It's God's institution. Can you say God's institution? And because it's God's institution, we don't have the right, listen to me carefully, we don't have the right to change it. We don't have the right to touch it. We don't have the right to put our standards to that. This is why family is a pillar in our church, because of this reason. Listen to me very carefully. We will always endeavor to create a space where families can learn how to live as God intended. Now, all these messages are equally important, but when I teach each one, I'm going to say this is the most important one, because at the time I'm teaching it, it's going to be the most important one. Family is in trouble. And I'm not talking about, the families in the world. And it's nothing new. Family has been under assault since the beginning of time. Read your Bible. Y'all think Tyler Perry and Channel 7 got some drama? Read your Bible. There's some drama in there starting in Genesis. There's some sexual stuff in there. There's some fighting. There's some betrayal. It's all in the Bible. The Bible? Yep, it's in the Bible. Trickery, all kind of stuff is in there. Murder. And so it's nothing new. It's not, this family under attack now. It's been under attack. It's been under assault. Marriage under attack. It's been under assault since the beginning of time. Since the beginning of time, I believe it's been under assault. Marriage, family, adoption, orphans, widows. We got to deal with that in the local church. And society, I believe, has been too busy trying to redefine it. We've come up with new definitions and descriptions. I just heard the other day that they don't want to call you mothers anymore because women are the only one that can conceive. Well, we ain't got to march about that. We ain't got to fight about that. We ain't got to get no posters about that. We know that ain't true. It's just a part of where we are in our world, where everything is being twisted. Everything is being, that's what wicked means. It means twisted. If this is God's standard, the enemy's going to twist it. Come on, y'all say amen. And so media, school, and even now the church has decided to change definitions and descriptions of family. It's ungodly. Say ungodly. Ungodly. Why is it ungodly? Because God created it and we have no right to touch it. It is his intent. It is his heart. It is his will. He's the one that ordained it and we have no place to touch it. And so we have now ignored the wisdom of God. We have ignored the big W and went with little w. Most of you, the reason you have so much chaos in your life is because you live according to what I call small w wisdom. It is not the wisdom of God. It is not God's way. It is what you have put together yourself from your family, from mud deer, from your background, from your experiences. And this is how you live your life. And it is far from God's intent. And whenever you violate God's wisdom, you get chaos. You don't need to keep saying the devil is busy. No, you need to stop violating wisdom. It's not always the devil. You can't make $35,000 and live at 43 and talk about the devil is busy. No, you don't know how to manage your money. See, and we got to put things in proper perspective. It is a responsibility of the church. Say, I am the church. Whenever you hear me say the righteous, you said that's me. When I said the church, you said that's me. Because we have kind of come accustomed to coming here as a church. It is just the building. People fought us about y'all having married life in the church, y'all playing that kind of music in the church, the husband kissing on their wives in the church. Well, this is a building. We are the church. It's funny how you wouldn't come in here and smoke a cigarette, but you smoke a cigarette and inhale and exhale on this is the temple, this is the body. We can go as the church and have a gathering at the mall, at the gas station, at the Players Club. Come on, we can have it at the Jewel. Because we are the church. Y'all laughing, but I'm telling you the truth. And it is our responsibility to see that God's intent for the family is carried out. Except the Lord build the house, we build it in vain. We must build based on his way, his standard, come on, his word. That is it. We have no other options. You have no other options. You build, if you are a believer, you build according to his way, his standard, his word, period. And I got 3 amens. Because church will even tell you now, nope, you ain't got to do that. You ain't got to do it that way. You ain't got to wait till you get married to live together. You ain't got to wait till you get married to have sex. You ain't got to do, and it's giving you all these things that are against God's way. And we're like, oh, but that do sound right. That do make sense. They have been religious. That is too much. We didn't make the rule. Is this mic on? So we must be practical and strategic in teaching where people live. The building of people in their lives is essential, not the building of programs and budgets, but people. We must teach people how to live, how to respond to God's way. When we sit in counsel with couples and families, it's going through how to live. Now, here's the challenging thing about that is we're helping you go through as we go through the same thing. Now, I can see a little further because God has called us to be leaders. We didn't call ourselves. We didn't get up and say, let's start a church, let's start a gathering, let's start a community, put a name on the door, and hope somebody comes. It was all the will of God. Nobody picks this out of a hat and said, I think I'll take pastoring. Are you listening to me? And so when you leave here every week, you should have the tools, you should be equipped to change your life and family for the better. Every time you should have something when you leave here to say, I'm going to go home and work on this. I'm going to go home. I'm going to practice this. I'm going to go home. I'm going to put this in place because I want this area better. I want this area right. I want to sharpen how I talk with my mother. I want to sharpen how I respond to my kids. I want to be a better wife. I want to be a better husband. I want to manage our money better this year so we can get ahead. I want to go on a full vacation this year, not 2 days in Naperville. I want to do some things different, but I got to make some adjustments. And I thank God for my local church that's teaching me how to do that. And if your church ain't teaching you how to live life, you need to make some adjustments. People come and say, Lifeline didn't teach me nothing. You a whole lie. You are a lie and a half because this is a teaching church and we're teaching you how to live. How to live. How to everything from to manage your money and what to buy, what not to buy, how to save, how to spend, how to do portion order, how to have a better marriage, just everything. We have it right here. How to eat better, how not to eat so much sugar, don't eat the fried foods, don't eat the oils. And some of y'all, I just can't take that on. She just too difficult, she just too strong. And you got diabetes times 4. What do you mean she too strong? Your back hurt consistently, but she too strong. Your heart pumping wrong, but she too strong. Come on here, y'all. We got to do better. We got to stop prejudging the people that God has sent to help us. While you criticize, you should be taking notes so you can live. Are you listening to me? And what she's talking about ain't nothing new. Everybody's catching on. I was listening to Dr. Joe yesterday. He's like, you need to stay away from sugars, processed foods, and oils. I said, oh my. He said, it's killing us. I ain't worried about that. I ain't thinking about that. Sure, he ain't going to tell me what I want to eat. Yeah. Say how to live. We must reset our families. Say reset. Reset. To doing things God's way. Look at Mark chapter 9. I got 10 minutes to do a little work with you here. Mark chapter 9, verse 14, King James Version. Say, help us, Lord. And when he came to his disciples, he saw a great multitude about them, and the scribes questioning with him. And straightway all the people, when they beheld him, were greatly amazed, and running to him saluted him. And he asked the scribes, what question ye with them? And one of the multitude answered and said, Master, I brought my son to thee, which hath a dumb spirit. And wheresoever he taketh him, the spirit, he teareth him. He foameth and gnasheth with his teeth, and he pinneth away, or he becomes rigid. And I spake to thy disciples that they should cast him out, and they could not. Are y'all reading this with me? Yes. He answered him and said, O faithless generation, how long shall I be with you? How long shall I suffer you? Bring him unto me. And they brought him unto him, and when he saw him, straightway the spirit tear him. And he fell on the ground, wallowing, foaming. And he asked his father, how long is it ago since this came unto him? How long has this boy been like this? And he said, of a child, since he was a child. He says, and now the father speaks out and says, let me give you some clarity, Jesus. He says, oftentimes it casts him into the fire and into the waters to destroy him. Now we know fire and water are the extremes, extreme opposites of one another. To destroy him. But if thou canst do anything, have compassion on us and help us. And Jesus said unto him, if thou canst believe, all things are possible to him that believeth. And straightway the father of the child cried out and said with tears, Lord, I believe, but I'm going to need you to help my unbelief. Which proves that belief and unbelief can be present at the same time. And when Jesus saw that the people came running together, he rebuked the foul spirit. Tell your neighbor, say, we got to get back to rebuking. And saying unto him, thou dumb and deaf spirit, I charge thee, come out of him and enter no more into him. And the spirit cried, Jesus, and rent him sore, and came out of him, and he was one as dead. So much that folks said, Lord, the boy's dead. But Jesus took him by the hand, lifted him up, and he arose. And when he was come into the house, the disciples asked him privately. They went to Jesus often to find out, now what happened? That's a lesson right there. The disciples walked up on Jesus often and said, hey, Jesus, now when you was out there, this happened. What was that all about? Or what did that mean? They walked up on him privately, and here's what they said. Why could not we cast him out? Because remember, they brought him to the disciples first. And Jesus said unto them, this kind can come forth by nothing but by prayer and fasting. Now, some translations have taken out fasting, but you got to study this through. It belongs there. This kind don't respond to anything but prayer and fasting. A dumb spirit. Verse 17 says, a dumb spirit. Can we walk through this a little bit? We're not just dealing with bad kids. We're not just dealing with kids that don't want to act right, don't want to do right, don't want to obey. This is 100% spiritual. Come on here, go to Ephesians chapter number 6. I need you to understand this. Because some of us as parents, we're deep everywhere else but at home. We can identify spirits everywhere else. We can pray with everybody else. We can walk them through. We can travail with them. We can war with them until it comes to our house. Now I know the kids are in here. I asked them to be in here. The babies are in here. I don't have a problem with that at all. I want you to be in here. But I want you the best you can to pay attention. Best you can not to move around. I think sometimes we walk too much in church. Babies are crying, that's what they do. Just focus. So your neighbor said, just focus. I expect babies to cry and be fidgety. They're babies. I don't expect you to be fidgety, you 40. For we wrestle not, verse 12, against flesh and blood. Look at this. But against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. This is not my kid just didn't want to take out the trash. It was a dumb spirit. It robbed him of his speech, of his natural abilities. It dumbed him down. It caused him not to participate. It caused him not to hear properly. It caused him not to speak properly. It caused him not to be what God intended for him to be. Are you listening to me? And you see that now with even the speech of our youth. Most have lost their identity because of this dumb spirit. Now, when I said dumb, I'm not talking about you're not smart, you can't read or write. Don't even come at me like that. That's not what I'm saying. Read the scripture. But it's a spiritual wickedness that is assigned to assault the minds of our young people and to stifle them until he's finished doing what he wants to do with them. And you're mad because he won't clean up his room or he didn't take out the garbage, and you don't realize at all that he's dealing with something that he can't even express to you. It's spiritual wickedness. It's in their dreams. It's in their waking up. It's in their going to sleep. It's in their headphones. It's in their phones. It's on their TikTok. It's on their Snapchat. And they're constantly feeding themselves what they don't want to understand. It's all spiritual. Words are not just words. They are spiritual containers going somewhere to manifest. So if your children are walking around muttering songs all the time at home, what are they saying? What are they humming? You're in the front driving, you're listening to worship, they're in the back with headphones on. What's going through their ear gate? Come on here. And this is not a beat up message for the young or the parents. It's a wake up message. We have work to do. This is not playtime. Well, let the kids be kids. One thing I hate for people to say, when you hear me this kind of message, let the kids be kids. I was a kid once too. Pastor, we all did. That sounds stupid. Because we all did something stupid. Let our kids be stupid because we were stupid. We smoke weed too. Don't you even know that the weed is even different now? These kids smoke weed now and lose their entire mind. I didn't call you because your son out here on 290 with no clothes on, with a balloon in one hand and a Pepsi in the other, singing Christmas songs because he smoked some weed with somebody. And you talking about something, let the kids be kids. We was our kids once too. Do you realize this? This is what I realized, Tyler. This is what I realized. This ain't nothing to play with. I realized that the devil himself has every intention and every assignment to kill my son. That I bury them. That I close the casket on them one day and said, see you soon, son. But we declared not so. Now, you can declare all day. What's going with your declaration? What adjustments are you making at home? They ain't going to like them. And see, we tried this, trying to parent different. And, because, our parents, they parented a certain way. That's what they knew. And we're going to do different. And we're going to let y'all do that. And we're going to let y'all talk. And we're going to let y'all express yourself. And that's all fine and well. But as long as you remember, I'm still the parent. And when you get through expressing, when I said no, that's the end of the conversation. When I said not yet, we done now. When I said I don't think that's wise, let's not do that right now, that's the end of it. I thought she was gonna let me express myself. I did. Then I overrode it because I got more sense. I've been here longer. And I'm the one anointed to parent you. Oh, y'all ain't gonna like this, but I ain't gonna turn my plow. My goal is that my sons live. We got different levels of demons. They deal with a whole nother principality because they're black. That's a whole other principality. I have to deal with my own fear every day that when my boys leave, because they're older now, they ain't around with me. They ain't in the back with the seatbelt on. They driving and they by themselves. I got to realize, okay, wait a minute. I hope what I told you understand. Because I can't get to the scene quick enough. I need you to make all the right decisions. So I need you to listen to me when I'm talking to you at home, because when I'm not there, you got to say, okay, wait a minute now. This what daddy said. This what daddy taught. This what mama said. So that's one whole principality. Then you got the sexual principality. The devil don't care if they straight or gay, as long as they abuse whatever it is. He's trying to train my son. He's trying to train. No, he don't care if they straight or gay. They can be straight. Just sleep with everybody. Just do stupid stuff with your body. You can be gay. Just do it. It doesn't matter. Long as it's wicked, long as it's twisted. Because some of y'all probably say, as long as my son ain't gay, and you glad because they sleeping with everybody, as long as they, come on, are you ridiculous? Can I talk like this today? So you got that principality. Then you got the mental principality. All of our children, whether you know it or not, are dealing with a mental principality. And it's bombarding their thinking every day. It's constant. Because even when I was in school, I was bullied. I was bullied my whole time in school. Even part of high school, I was always bullied. But the relief came because I got to go home. They don't get to go home no more because of this. So when you leave school, this goes with you. When you leave the game, this goes with you. And if your kids is like mine, this is their life right here. Take out the garbage, okay. And then I'm just watching pictures and seeing what sweatshirts look nice. They're keeping up with the culture. And they're keeping up with who said what, and who talking about them, and what she said, and who said this, and it's constant. Constant. That's the principality they're dealing with. Constant. Then you have the academic principality. And you've been saying, you're so stupid. You just need to do. You adding to it. Most of our children have some form, I think because of the fall of man, I think a lot of us do, some form of attention deficit, some form of your brain don't work fully like it was intended to work because of the fall of man. That's why you do some things great and some things you like, but you had the part you don't do well. I'm a pastor. I'm a leader. I'm a teacher. I travel the world. I preach. I do what I do. People, when I get through talking, people give me $8,000, $6,000 just to talk for an hour. And some things I just can't do. Some things I don't even understand. It don't click with my brain. And there's some things I just don't get, but she gets it. And they ain't got to diagnose me. I don't care what you call it. I know how my brain works. You know how yours works. That's why you try to hide it. That's why you're always insecure. That's why you got all this rejection. And then somebody says, wait a minute now, but you're trying to say I'm slow? I just said, pass me the ketchup. It's right there. I saw it right there. I knew it was right there. But you're trying to say. That's because you're trying to hide something that you know well about yourself. And we hide it about our children. Because nobody wants to be so, you have a kid that people call them slow, people call them little, so we hide it. And you know he don't know salt and pepper. You know that. Come on here. And so, and so, and so, and so, and so, and so. I thought about what I said. I told you when I'm up here, I'm just flowing, and sometimes I don't know what I said till after the message. So they're dealing with all of these principalities, and they're right down the hall from you. I can promise you this. I don't care how much you know your child, and that's my best friend, and we buddy, and that's my ace home. There's something you don't know about your child. Because there was something my parents didn't know about me. I don't care how much Holy Ghost you got, there's something you don't know about you. But she tell me, that's my best friend, made her life, there's something you don't know. That's why when you find out, it crushes you. You're like, no, dude, like, what's up? Like, why you didn't tell me that? Because kids also, another principality is this principality of keeping them from authority. And you are the number one authority in their life. And most things they don't even tell you. I got a friend I talk to, I got a teacher I talk to, I got a youth pastor I talk to. And you're like, but I'm here. Like, come talk to me. Like, share with me. Y'all quiet up in here. I'm talking about how to live. And see, I didn't have this, Cassandra, because I figured I ain't got to deal with that. My kids are little. They with me. I put the seatbelt on. When I go, they go. Or they go to mama house. We good. Well, they young men now. But we washing drawers. They draw as big as mine. Ain't no 4 T's in there. Ain't no 3 T's. Now we get, who got my sock? Them my socks? Because they'll put your stuff on and walk out the house like it's theirs. And you in there looking like, now I know I had this sweater in here. And you know, my clothes bigger than that, but they like the clothes big. It don't matter. And they come in that city. I came home 20. You had told me that. And I said, no, not in my house. We don't do that. They know. They know this is my chair. And I come home, the dude is in my chair. He in my chair, legs open, scratching his junk, eating. TV remote. And I said, hey, man, I'm the man in this house. That's my chair. You coming at me wrong now. You sitting in my chair. That's the bill payer's chair right there. And the enemy, I don't think they do it on purpose, but subconsciously, he'll have them challenge you. Because he is against authority. God is a God of authority and of order. And most children are doing everything they can to escape order and to escape authority. That's why if you are a school teacher, God bless your ministry. Because I know I ain't called for it. Hey, after the first period, I'm going home like this. They take you out like this, Jack. Because you got one time. But we put pressure on teachers. That pressure belongs at home. When they get to school, they should know how to respond. They should know how to respect. They should know how to answer. All adults, we came up, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. What happened? I picked up my son's friends. They get in the back of the car. What's up, Reggie? Wait, time out. You're going to at least put a mist on in front of that or something. Or sometimes the only just slam your door. What happened to the order? Because we're dealing with principalities. We're dealing with principalities that they didn't deal with. And if you pay attention to your children, you don't say nothing to them, just come in the room with that and just watch them. You can see it on them. How they respond to certain things. Certain things they're attracted to on television. You say, why are you watching that? A lot of them like it dark. They don't like the lights on. That's a principality. We are the light. Why don't our kids like light? Y'all quiet up in here. And I said, wait a minute, God, we got to talk through this. I ain't going to preach. I'm going to talk through this. Because the enemy won't have our families. At all. At least clap. And if you pride yourself on doing a great job and this message don't apply to you with your kids, then praise God for you. But I got three the devil trying to kill. Even more so. See, here's the deal. Our kids, number one, deal with things that the enemy couldn't get us on. If he didn't get you, he'd go to your children. And then if he gets you, he still go to your children. He try to run it down now. So either way, we're responsible. See, I came up with what was called discipline. And somewhere we threw the baby out with the bathwater saying it don't take all that with our children. You come in a room and don't speak to the folk that's in the room, you getting slapped in the mouth. Get over here. Didn't you see Aunt Linda? Didn't you see Gertrude sitting there? You didn't speak with her like that. Get over there and speak. Now, I don't want to speak. I don't care. I don't care. I don't even know her. Them your friends, mama. Had I displayed any of what I see now, there would be no Lifeline Church. Because I would have died a long time ago. And I love our youth. I love our babies. So much potential. He just told you, so many great things going on in them. But I'm going to tell you right now, not just the 19, 18. How old is your son? 5. It starts at 2, 3. I saw a little girl, she had to be 4, Tyler. And she stood in that Walmart like a grown woman. And she cussed her mama clean out because she would let her get a candy bar from the aisle. And that woman said, I'm going to tell your daddy on you. This is just ridiculous. And it's not funny. And it ain't like, I'll snatch her. That breaks my heart. Because it's a sign of the times. And you say, I just snatch her. Now you going out to Walmart like that. Because society says you're responsible for your children, but don't hit them, don't cuss them, don't discipline them, but you're responsible for them. You send them out to the school, and something go wrong, they calling you. They calling you because you their mama, and you should have. Well, I tried, and you said I couldn't. I slapped them, and you pressed charges. I yelled at them, and you called the people on me. So you done tied my hands. Now come get them at the school because they acting up. Yeah, you keep them for the rest of the day. Let them keep cussing you all day. Because when I was coming up, I went to Resurrection Grammar School right here on Jackson. And we had teachers that was like mother figures. You got whoopings at school. And then you got home, you got another one. Because how dare you make the teacher stop teaching and have to deal with you? Ain't I taught you better than that? And I had a teacher, she would pinch us until we saw Jesus. He was going in and out of conscience like. Said principalities. And our children are wrestling with this wickedness. And it sounds familiar to us. You know why? Because some of us as adults are wrestling with the same thing. You listen to the music with them. I know my kids are of age, but there's certain things I ain't watching with them. I'm uncomfortable watching certain movies with them and the sex scene come on like, oh, my son is sitting here like, He like, Dad, I'm of age. No, I'm not finna watch nobody humping with you. It's just a little scene, 30 seconds, yeah. But there's all this going on. I didn't watch the movie before, but it's in every movie. It's in the commercials. Because it's just, the whole system is twisted. Old girl brushing her teeth on a commercial with Grace and Mercy hanging out. You're like, this is a commercial. And back in the day, Grace, Mercy, y'all. Help him, Chuck, help him. See, back in the day, when you watched TV, all you saw was face. B had on 4 dresses, an apron, a head wrap, come on, and boots. Now everything is out. And so we are dealing with a thing that first we got to look at. Yeah, and I'm going to get to it in a second. Well, maybe not a second, maybe tonight. Because he asks, you said get to it now? Who said get to it now? All I need is 1. I got 4, okay. Jesus said, oh, faithless generation. Listen. He was not talking to the boys' generation. He was talking to the father's generation. The father even understood. He says, Jesus, if you have compassion, help us. The boy got the demon, but we got an issue here. We got to do some things. One of the things you got to do, I think I'm rushing. Okay. Y'all breathe with me. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Our children, come on up, Chris, are literally dealing, and I'm going to teach on this. I'm going to teach on demons and deliverance. They're dealing with demons. You can hear, you ever got into conversation with your children? If you're spiritual, you can hear them. They'll speak out. And you're like, that ain't even my daughter. Like, what happened? Like, where did that come from? Why did you just say that? They'll speak out. Their voice will change. Their inflections will change. And we stuck on, go get the belt. If you don't put that belt up, we so far beyond that, you're going to have to get spiritual. Because you're too fast. Well, you're the one bought the outfit. I got 3 claps. What time is it? I got to stop. Okay. Jesus. Hey, look at all this. Ain't no way I was going to finish that today. Did somebody say you bad not? Who said you bad not? Who said that? No, who said that? Wendell, who said that? Oh, they said tonight. I thought they said you bad not. I was going to say. Hey, don't let my apostleship fool you now. I was born on the west side, Jack. Who that back there doing this? Okay, listen. Tune in tonight, and we're going to go through this. I want to give you how to deal with these principalities. And then we're going to talk about the importance of what Jesus meant when he said this kind only responds to fasting and prayer. Because we've not really known what that means. Because some translations, they took the fasting part out. It belongs in there. Crave, stand up. Hey, don't run, but come down here with me. talk either. Just come down here with me. Yeah, come on up. Y'all should clap for them while they come. Now, listen, if you don't mind, I see other youth here that are between 11 and 18. If you don't mind, you can come up here with them. 11 to 18, it's okay. You're welcome to come stand with us. Come on. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. You said, but I don't go to Crave. You go to this church, you are Crave. I only been in one time. You Crave. Come up here with us. 11 to 18. Let him in the door. Let him in the door. So, it is, she want to come up here. She like, come on, baby, come on. I'm standing up there. She said, anybody else coming? They coming? Okay. I want us to make sure, hey, pretty girl, y'all clap for her. What's up? Yeah, hey, yeah, that's what's up. He getting them? You rounding them up. I know that's right. Listen. I want to make sure that we destroy the box. Listen, when it comes to serving this generation. We got stuff here like drama ministry. And it's limited to you doing a skit. Skits is a part of production. Come on up. Y'all clap for them. Come on. Skits is a part of production. And production is bigger than learn my lines to do my 10-minute part in the service. There's cameras in production, there's makeup in production, there's wardrobe in production. There are stylists up here that don't want to act, but I can help with the wardrobe when y'all do y'all drama stuff. Got to destroy the box. And we don't want these youth served only on a youth Sunday. We want y'all singing, serving, and active all the time. We have to make way for that. We have to make room for that. We have to pull them in, put them up alongside of us, let them shadow us. This is the next right here. And the next is now. In 10 years, this church won't look the same. Come on, let's talk about it. Some of y'all going to be going to glory in 10 years. You're going to be with Jesus. Some of y'all may be offended next month and leave next month. I don't know. It happens. But these kids shouldn't be sitting here asleep, chilling, waiting for service to be over. Let's destroy the box when it comes to serving them, not necessarily them serving us. This is where you identify your bent. Come here, young man. What's your name? Jamarion. Jamarion. I assume you like cameras. A little bit? A little bit. I ain't usually gonna allow me up here, Pastor. Okay, you messed in my illustration. Go back over there. I'm just playing. So he liked him a little bit. Let's just say he liked him a little bit. But starting to serve here, you're like, that's pretty cool. I'm taking pictures to work in the thing, or we bringing our Gia back. Oh, this is pretty cool. And he finds his bench. He said that he's really good. You know, what is up with this generation? Don't like what they're really good at. You really good here. I want to do that. This is where, coupled with your family, we help you find what is called your bent, what you love to do, and you can soar from here. Are y'all getting this? So you like it just a little bit. Go in my bag, Steve, in the inside zipper. There's some money in there that somebody gave me last night. It's balled up. I don't know how much it is. Bring it and give it to him. You like it a little bit. She said you're really good at it. What you want to be, not when you grow up now.
I want to be, right now I want to be an influence on my little brothers.
Influence your little brothers. Great. And what else you want to do? How you want to influence your little brothers?
Set an example.
Set an example. What? That's good. What do you like to do, like in terms of sports or cameras or reading, writing? What do you like to do?
I like to play basketball.
You like to play basketball. That's what you want to do?
Yeah.
You want to be a basketball player. Okay. Anything else? Because you ain't limited to one.
I want to become a pastor.
You want to become a pastor? Bless you, man. Hey, we gotta have a talk, Candy. Yeah. He good? Yeah. Okay, so a pastor, basketball, because you can be everything you want to be. And I ask kids this, not which one be when you grow up, which one be now. That's part of the thing that messes with us. What you want to be when you grow up? And kids are now 4 years old making millions of dollars. You got that hand. That's what somebody did last night to me. It's like. I encourage you. Number one, we gotta go. Number one, we gotta go. Listen, you gotta have. Put it in your pocket. Don't nobody see it. Put it in your pocket. Oh, good. Yeah, always keep your money, because they all eyeing you. They like, yeah. Number one, have your family meetings. Number two, in those family meetings, don't have them without your children. Number three, have certain questions you ask them in the meeting. Expect a response. They can't give it to you, so you got to the next meeting to respond to this question. Hear their heart, and then get behind them in helping them make these things a reality in their life. We've all messed up with it. Let's get it right. There's certain things, if he says, I want to be this, I want to be that, there's certain things we have to position. I'll teach you this. We got to position him to win in those areas. Other cultures do it all the time. We think because we prayed and poured oil, just go be, son. You have to position them. Everything matters. And so all of you up here, you're not going to be anointed. You're not going to be something. You are right now. And you can think of the stupidest thing you've done as a teenager, and it doesn't disqualify you from the plan of God for your life. Hey, you said, I got God, that's God. And it doesn't cause your parents to look at you different, treat you different, or love you less. And all the parents should have clapped right then. This is not just the adults' ordained year. It is your ordained year too. Okay? So here's what you do. Pastor Chai and Sister First Lady Tiffany, they're here with the, they lead Crave. When they call, come running. When they have an event, be there. Bring your friends. harass your parents. Now, I got it look good now. You was in the studio? Come on up here. See? What was I finna say, London? Harass your parents. I have it different now because he drives. But before he started driving, I would leave here from work, go home, and then come back down here to bring him for grade. I'll sit in the back, or I'll go for an errand, or we'd have a date night, but it was my responsibility to get them here. Yes, I was tired. Yes, I didn't feel like coming back down here to Cicero. I get it, but it was for them, not me. Y'all quiet up in here. My children don't want to come. I'm going to say this best I can. My kids don't want to come. With all due respect. So what? You know what's best for them. And they may come. I got kids up here that came and they sat here like, Mama made me come. I can't stand her. And they up here grinning and enjoying now. Because you know better than them. And that's the enemy trying to keep them isolated and keep them to themselves with every excuse of not to fellowship. And we were made to fellowship. My heart broke that some of these kids up here did not. Okay, now. My heart breaks that some of these kids didn't make it to the retreat. It ain't gonna never happen again. No child gets left behind. And so, whether you like it or not, or know everybody up here or not, this is family. This is family. You don't talk about one another. You don't put each other down. You cover one another. You fight for one another. Are you listening to me? Yes. Y'all precious. There's millionaires standing up here. She said, I receive it, amen. Not when you're 30, 40. Right now. So I release witty ideas and inventions over you. Lift your hands up. That your dreams take a turn. From nightmares and from strange things and sexual perverted things, that you'll have witty ideas and you'll have inventions that'll be birthed in your hearts, and you'll write them down, and God will put you in touch with the right people that'll use their power and their influence to bring the thing in your heart to pass quickly. Some of you up here, you're the open door to wealth in your family. Your family won't struggle anymore because of you. You're not stupid. You're not dumb. You're not ugly. You're not a nigger. You're none of that. None of that. None of that. You're God's valuable masterpiece. You're smart. You're 10 times better than every person in your class. You have the academic power. You have the emotional strength to do everything. Lift your hands up. To do everything God has called you to do. They don't define you. God has already done that. I pray you have full revelation of your identity in Christ. You're only what He has called you. And I pray even now, restoration for some of you with your parents, that desire closeness with your parents, or restoration with your fathers or your mothers. I pray that in the next year, this ordained year, God will bring it to fruition in your life. In the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. Cover your children every day. Don't you dare work this altar, not work the bedroom down the hall for you. Father, we thank you for what you're doing in and among us. In Jesus' name, amen. I'll finish tonight, so tune in at 7 o'clock, and we'll walk through this in Jesus' name. They had a real big deal the last Youth Sunday. They didn't get to it this time, but the next one, y'all got to turn up and everybody get way involved, so start planning that now. On Wednesday nights, get here. If some of y'all drive, pick up your friends. Get them here. Carpool. We can carpool. You live by me, I drive 1 week, you drive 1 week. Do what you got to do. Well, I ain't driving, he driving, but yeah. Get your kids down here. If they ain't meeting here, they meet somewhere else. Get them there. Okay? Are y'all listening to me? Okay.